or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Welcome to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour is Patricia. Starting with the Amherst Bee for Thursday, April 23rd, from the front page. Amherst to see $3 million from Maple Road by Bob Kupsik. And a note to listeners that I'll be reading an abbreviated version of this article. If you would like to hear the whole article, please call the office at 716-821-5555, and the staff will read you the full article. Have you recently called the town of Amherst to complain about the conditions of roads and potholes, and specifically Maple Road? Following a press conference last Friday at Audubon Golf Course, County Executive Mark Poloncarz, Commissioner of Public Works William Gary, and Town of Amherst Supervisor Sean Levin indicated things could change for the better soon. The Erie County Department of Public Works Highways Division is preparing for a robust schedule of work and road and bridge work planned for 2026, involving more than $50 million in investments for projects spanning the county. Major reconstruction projects account for the largest portion of the total investment at over $41 million, while road and bridge infrastructure projects account for the remainder. More importantly for Amherst residents, Phase 2 of Maple Road reconstruction project will include a $3 million county-funded investment, which will cover 1.5 miles from North Forest Road to the bridge over the I-290, and including the bridge spanning Ellicott Creek. Poloncarz said the $50 million is a combination of federal, state, and local funds. Gary added that more than 50% comes directly from county dollars, only about $6 million. For the last probably 3 to 4 months in the extreme winter we had, I got a substantial amount of phone calls about Maple Road, and it was beneficial for me to say as a county road, Lavin said. So the county executive, along with the Department of Public Works, fully recognize how important Maple is to the town of Amherst, but also to the county in general. We are thrilled to see this investment here today. We think it's going to be very beneficial for the residents, people who travel in and out of Amherst for work, who live here day in and day out. So I want to make sure Commissioner Geary and County Executive Poloncarz are recognized for finding the resources and putting Maple on their list, because it's such an important road to my residents. Turning to the Bee Herd column in the Amherst Bee for April 23rd. The first item. We have lived in Amherst for 37 years and have seen it all. We are here to tell you Amherst is nothing more than a shell game. There is no money left from unnecessary spending, such as streetlights, the Westwood purchase, Boulevard Mall purchase. It's just a shell game. Rebuilding the Bassett Park band shell at $500,000 a few years back, and on top of that, 11.4% tax increase. Wake up, Amherst. Where's all this money going? They now want a bed tax. They're spending this money before they even get it for the Northtown Center. Have Northtown pay for that. They want their name in lights. Have them pay that money they need. This is ridiculous. I can't wait to get out of Amherst. Next item. At least 2 local respected attorneys with extensive government experience have publicly opined that they do not see a valid reason for the Term Limits Commission. Deputy Supervisor Marinucci, also an attorney, apparently feels the issue is so complex and legally uncertain as to require a commission. So who does she personally appoint to this august body? A person with no legal or government training or experience whatsoever. His only qualification is being her friend. Next item. The current town board is an extension of the Culpa regime that was noted for a lack of transparency, accountability, and a contempt for the taxpaying citizens of Amherst. Lavin has done nothing to change that and restore trust. By instituting new rules at town board meetings to stifle the voices of the people is against constitutional and God-given rights. It is tyrannical. These are the people all about no kings and democracy. Actions speak louder than words. They are all hypocrites and interested only in themselves and the elite grifters, no different than the last 10 years where Lavin was in complete compliance. Next item. Dear regional drivers, when it comes to Amherst and Williamsville driving, have at it. Speed, run red lights, run stop signs, because you're not going to get a ticket because the Amherst police obviously don't write traffic tickets due to the constant behavior of law-breaking drivers. Next item. It is interesting to read in the Be Heard column, a leader in the Amherst Republican Committee is talking about the great success the Amherst Republican Committee has had in the last year and a half. The Amherst Republican Committee in the last year and a half has lost every office that they ran for, and they ran the same candidate for supervisor and state senate and got killed. It was an all-Democratic town sweep, with the leadership of the Amherst Republican Party asleep, running very poor and weak candidates without adequate funding. There's nothing to be proud of in the success of the Amherst Republican Committee in the last year and a half, as they have lost everything that they have touched. The county does the same thing, running the same candidates for mayor and Erie County Comptroller 2 years in a row, and they lost 2 years in a row. The county Republican chairman gives fiery speeches and wins nothing. Next item. Somebody tell me why in the town of Amherst our garbage cans in our parks are overflowing. Don't they pick up the garbage anymore? And last item. The nation is celebrating its 250th anniversary this July. Will the town of Amherst restore the fireworks display held at the University at Buffalo in previous years? And continuing with the Amherst Bee for April 23rd, a bee editorial. May Day, what is it and what it means? May Day's origins are multifaceted, with roots in both ancient agricultural rituals and the modern labor movement. In ancient days, May Day was a spring festival celebrating the return of light and the fertility of the earth, particularly among the Celts, and the festival of Beltane. Later, it evolved into a day honoring the labor movement. May 1st is celebrated internationally, particularly in Europe, as a workers' solidarity day to celebrate laborers and working classes. It is also known as Labor Day or May Day in some countries. May Day, a holiday rich in tradition and folklore, is derived from ancient festivals celebrating the first day of summer. The word May itself is rooted in Roman mythology, linked to the Roman goddess Maya, who oversaw the growth and vitality of plants. As with many early holidays, May Day is rooted in agriculture. Springtime festivals filled with song and dance celebrated the sown seeds, fields starting to sprout. Cattle were driven to pasture, special bonfires were lit, and doors of houses as well as livestock were decorated with yellow May flowers, said an explanation of the holiday from the Old Farmer's Almanac. Many people may also be familiar with the maypole, but not completely familiar with its meaning or origin. In modern times, you can often find these at county fairs, some college campuses, or erected during certain celebrations, but historically you would find them placed at or near a community center. This tradition started in medieval Europe, where areas would often compete for the largest maypole by the time of their yearly celebration. This tradition eventually made its way to the Americas during the era of British colonization, later becoming a tradition for celebration at college campuses from the late 19th to the mid-20th century. Although it seems not everyone thought May Day was just sunshine and roses, with the Puritans of New England condemning any celebration of what they viewed to be a pagan tradition. With that said, May Day never picked up the momentum of other popular holidays. What's May Day without a basket? The May basket is a tradition most popular during the 19th and 20th centuries, where you could leave paper baskets containing flowers and sweets on others' doorsteps. This was often done between children and dating youths. Many American classrooms and families will make May Day baskets, although that tradition is not as popular as it once was. You're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 2:10, and we are turning to the Clarence Bee for Thursday, April 23rd. From the front page of the Clarence Bee, Planning Board approves 2 projects on Sheridan Drive by Emma McElligott. The Town of Clarence Planning Board met on Wednesday, April 15th to review requests of a development plan and change in use approvals. Dynabrade Incorporated requested a development plan approval to construct a 40,000 square foot light manufacturing and office addition at the rear of its existing facility at 8989 Sheridan Drive. The proposal was first referred to the Planning Board by the Town Board in October 2025. In November, the Planning Board initiated a coordinated environmental review under SEQRA. In January 2026, a negative declaration was issued and concept plan approval was granted, subject to 15 conditions. The project continued to move through the review process in the following months, with the Landscaping Review Committee approving the final landscape plan in March. In April, the Town Engineering Department determined the development plan meets all applicable technical requirements. During the review, Dynabrade representatives stated that the construction and evacuation or excavation area will be fully fenced to contain debris and protect surrounding properties, and that the contractor will manage stormwater runoff and drainage throughout the construction phase. No additional public comments were made during the Planning Board's review. The development plan was approved. The Sikh Cultural and Educational Society of Western New York requested a change in use approval to convert the former retail and office building at 8850 Sheridan Drive into a house of worship and community facility. Plans call for exterior upgrades, including new windows, trim work, rooftop mechanical screening, added landscaping, and additional street trees. Site improvements also include parking lot repairs and the installation of 5 large trees and foundation plantings. A religious feature, an 8-foot spear above the main entrance, was proposed, along with interior renovations such as a skylight over the prayer room, upgraded kitchen facilities, and additional women's restrooms, and a 3-bedroom apartment for visiting clergy. No additional public comments were made, and the change in use request was approved. Continuing with the front page of the Clarence Bee, I'll be reading an abbreviated version of this article. Please call the office at 716-821-5555 if you would like to hear the entire article, and the staff will read it to you. So the article is, Erie County announces $50 million in road work, Clarence projects included. Erie County officials announced a more than $50 million investment in road and bridge improvements for 2026, with several projects planned in the town of Clarence. Additional reconstruction works includes works on Griner Road in the town of Clarence and Eggert Road in the town of Amherst along the Buffalo City line. Improvements are also planned for North Forest Road in Amherst and Bowen Road in the town of Alma. Cold recycling and top course treatment totaling more than 17 miles and $3.6 million will take place in several communities. In the town of Clarence, work will include Roll Road, Bullis Road, Thompson Road, and Staley Road. And that is the end of the abbreviated version of this article. Turning to the local news in the Clarence Bee, Tops adds Snap EBT payment option through DoorDash. Tops Friendly Markets is expanding access to affordable groceries by allowing customers to use SNAP/EBT benefits for online orders through the delivery service DoorDash. The grocery chain announced the new feature will enable customers to purchase eligible food items for delivery, providing added convenience for households that rely on food assistance programs. SNAP users can shop a range of qualifying items, including fresh produce, dairy products, meat, and pantry staples, directly through the DoorDash platform. Payments for eligible items can be made using an EBT card at checkout, while non-eligible items, along with taxes, fees, and tips, must be paid using another form of payment. At Tops, we're committed to taking care of our neighbors and strengthening the communities we serve, said Ron Ferry, president of Tops Markets. By expanding access to online grocery delivery for SNAP customers, we're helping ensure more families can put fresh, healthy food on the table with greater ease and dignity. Headquartered in Williamsville, Tops operates 151 stores across New York, Pennsylvania, and Vermont, and employs more than 14,000 people. DoorDash, founded in 2013, operates in more than 40 countries and connects consumers with local businesses through its delivery platform. Officials said the initiative is intended to improve food access across communities that Tops serves, particularly for families facing barriers to transportation or time constraints. Continuing with local news in the Clarence Bee, Brandon Bean raises $50,000 for SPCA serving Erie County. A friendly on-air challenge earlier this year turned into significant boosts for the SPCA serving Erie County, thanks to Buffalo Bills General Manager Brandon Bean. During a live appearance on the Pat McAfee Show, host Pat McAfee challenged Bean to throw a football about 10 yards into a target. With $100,000 in charitable donations on the line and just 3 attempts, Bean completed the throw on his second try. The successful attempt resulted in a $50,000 donation to the SPCA serving Erie County, made last week in honor of Bean and Bill's Mafia, a charitable initiative founded 7 seasons ago by Bean and his wife Haley. Through Bill's Mafia, the Beans donate $100 to support animals in need of intensive care for every Buffalo Bills home game touchdown. Bean said the organization's work resonates strongly with his family. My wife, Haley, keeps me updated on all of the awesome work the SPCA serving Erie County does to help animals each and every day, he said. It's a very unique organization in that they help domestic animals and even wildlife and farm animals. We've just always had a heart for rescue animals. The SPCA serving Erie County thanked Brandon and Haley Bean, McAfee, and supporters of initiatives like Bill's Mafia for their contributions to animal welfare. More information, including video of the challenge, is available at yourspca.org. And turning to the editorial section of the Clarence Bee, new Highmark Stadium to include sensory rooms. The Buffalo Bills recently announced plans to install 7 sensory rooms at the new Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, making it the most sensory-inclusive venue in the world, according to the team. The sensory rooms will be available to all ticket holders and will be located on every level of the stadium. The Bills-branded spaces are designed to provide a calming, supportive environment for guests who may need a quiet area while still taking part in the game day experience. The team said its guest experience staff is focused on creating positive, lasting memories for fans. The project is being completed in collaboration with Culture City, Kaleida Health, the Golisano Children's Hospital of Buffalo, and Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism. The groups are helping design and equip the sensory rooms and provide sensory-inclusive training for stadium staff. Information about the sensory rooms will be available at guest experience booths during events and game days. For more information on the new Highmark Stadium, visit www.buffalobills.com/stadium. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 2:20. Turning to the Cheektowaga Bee for April 23rd from the front page. Cheektowaga bed tax expected to generate revenue starting this summer, by Michael Pulse. A 3% hotel occupancy tax designed to bring in new money from out-of-town visitors is expected to start generating meaningful revenue this summer. In October 2025, Governor Kathy Hochul signed legislation sponsored by State Senator April Baskin and Assembly Member Patrick Klunsky that allows the town to impose the tax on hotel guests. The goal was to generate fresh revenue without placing more burden on local property taxpayers. Supervisor Brian Nowak says the town expects to begin collecting the so-called bed tax at the start of the third fiscal quarter, July 1. He projects it could generate between $500,000 and $750,000 in 2026, though he noted uncertainty on those numbers remains. That estimate falls short of the $1 million annual figure projected by Kludinsky's office last October. During the 2025 budget process, the previous Republican board majority had estimated $500,001 in revenue from the tax for 2026, a projection Democrats criticized as inflated to help balance the budget. Nowak had originally budgeted just $1 for the new tax, citing the typical ramp-up time for any new program. The Republican majority later raised the figure in the final budget. Republican Council member Vernon Thompson criticized the pace of the rollout, saying that there has been a lack of will to get this moving. Thompson believes the town can still hit the $500,000 mark and argued that letters notifying hotels of the tax should have gone out in November 2025. Nowak attributed the delays to administrative hiccups. He said he requested the notification letters be sent in early January 2026, but they took longer than expected. Once sent, town officials learned that hotels would need additional time to update their point-of-sale systems. The town is also planning changes to the law. Currently, hotel operators must remit the collected tax just 5 days into each fiscal quarter. Officials want to extend that deadline by 5 more days, a time frame Nowak called more realistic. The board is expected to begin the amendment process at its next meeting on April 28th. We're not going to be collecting for the first quarter, and if we get anything for the second quarter, it would be meager, Nowak said, and that should have been expected. Thompson said the board should have prioritized getting the tax up and running earlier in the year instead of focusing on raising the tax cap. Continuing with the front page of the Cheektowaga Bee for April 23rd. Major drug and gun busts in Cheektowaga and Buffalo lead to multiple arrests. On Thursday, April 16th, New York State Police Troop A, along with Cheektowaga and Buffalo Police, executed search warrants on Gerlach Street in Cheektowaga and East Delavan Avenue in Buffalo. The following is a list of items seized and individuals charged at each location. Gerlach Street in Cheektowaga seized 145.3 grams of methamphetamine, 24.4 grams of cocaine, 24.8 grams crack cocaine. Arrested: Angela R. Vanway, 44, charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance in the second degree and 3 counts of criminal possession of a controlled substance in the third degree. Joshua T. Pike, 41, charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 3rd degree and criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 4th degree. Eric K. Williams, 41, charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 2nd degree and 3 counts of criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 3rd degree. East Delavan Avenue in Buffalo seized 277.8 grams of methamphetamine, 52.4 grams of cocaine, 84.9 grams of psilocybin mushrooms, 8 firearms, 7 assault weapons, and 1 ghost gun pistol, 20 high-capacity magazines, 1 firearm suppressor, 1 auto sear, body armor, assorted ammunition. Arrested: Ralph F. Harrison, 39, charged with 8 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the 2nd degree, 20 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the 3rd degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the 2nd degree, criminal possession of a firearm, and failure to safely store firearms in the 1st degree. Eric K. Williams, 41, charged with 3 counts of criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 2nd degree and criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 3rd degree. All defendants were held pending arraignment in the corresponding courts. Turning to the editorial section of the Cheektowaga Bee for April 23rd, Celebrating Our Older Adults in Erie County by Lisa Chimera, Deputy Erie County Executive. Each May, we recognize Older Americans Month as a time to celebrate older Americans' contributions to our nation, highlight aging trends, and pledge a commitment for caring for older adults. The theme for 2026 is Champion Your Health, encouraging our older adults and those who play a role in their life to focus on wellness, prevention, and staying active while aging. Our Erie County Department for the Aging offers many events and activities that serve exactly that purpose. From Club 99 Fitness to the Retired Seniors Volunteer Program, there is something for everyone. Older adults ages 50 and up are also invited to participate in University Express Lifelong Learning, a series of free classes designed to stimulate the mind while building new social networks. I am excited to share that the Spring 2026 catalog is now available online with classes beginning in May. This semester, the kickoff event will take place at 1 p.m. on Monday, May 4th, and is hosted by Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz. Roosevelt Rumble, FDR versus TR, features a thought-provoking showdown between 2 of America's most influential presidents. Blending humor, history, and friendly competition, come ready to learn, cheer, and decide which Roosevelt reigns supreme. To register, call the Orchard Park Senior Center at 716-662-6452. To view the full spring catalog, visit bit.ly/4T, capital TG, capital BXK. I would also like to note that this year's Elder Law Day will take place on Tuesday, June 2nd at the Buffalo Marriott Niagara, located at 1340 Millersport Highway in Amherst. This annual event has become a valuable experience for older adults and their caretakers and is put on through a partnership between the Erie County Department for the Aging and the Center for Elder Law and Justice. Participants can sit in on presentations focusing on a variety of topics including Medicaid eligibility, long-term care planning and asset protection, preparing for incapacity through advanced directives, estate planning and probate, and patient rights in hospitals and rehabilitation settings. There will also be opportunities to meet one-on-one with an attorney for a free legal consultation. The limit is 1 per household and must be selected while registering. The event includes coffee and pastries as well as a boxed lunch. To register, visit erie.gov/ELD. Year-round, the Department for Aging works hard to provide fun and engaging programming. Additionally, Erie County offers services like Going Places Transportation, which provides free rides to medical appointments, trips to Stay Fit dining sites or social activities, and more. I encourage older adults, families, and caretakers to explore these programs and resources by visiting erie.gov/aging. You can also call the New York Connects line, which is answered by our Department for the Aging staff right here in Erie County at 716-858-8526. I am proud of the work we do to make life vibrant for older adults across Erie County. I thank our Department for the Aging staff, the Live Well Erie County Older Adults Working Group, and all other community partners who work to empower older adults across our community. You're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 2:30. And we're turning to the combined Lancaster-Depew B for April 23rd. From the front page, community mourns loss of Lancaster Opera House creative director. Organization plans to honor his legacy, by James Sinner. The sudden passing of David Bondrell, creative director at the Lancaster Opera House on Wednesday, April 15th, has left a community mourning the loss of a man known for his talent, dedication, and kindness to those around him. Since 2009, Bondrell's leadership saw the roughly 130-year-old Opera House flourish into the 21st century, maintaining a dedicated following of regional theater fans that remain loyal attendees year after year. With the addition of special events, concert series, and youth programs, the Opera House bustled as a result of Bondrell's vision and work ethic. Nancy Mariani, who serves on the Board of Trustees at the Lancaster Opera House, first met Bondrell when he was a teenager at Central Presbyterian Church, where he was hired to sing as a soprano in the choir she directed. He was the kind of guy that, even as a young teenager, he had the charisma to talk to people, no matter how old they were. And my choir was filled with elderly people. He got along with everyone, she said. Mariani, who once chaired the art department at Lancaster High School, said she and Bondrell reunited after being asked to serve on the Opera House's board. She quickly found out that the talented young performer she knew as a teenager became the creative director, following an education at New York University and time working in the industry. Mariana said that Bondrell's ability to elevate the Opera House was the product of a broad skill set. He was a great singer, a great performer, a great director, and he could run the Opera House. He was great with financing. He just could do it all. Mariani added that Bondrell's connections to the arts in larger areas like Buffalo, Chicago, and New York City helped create the quality shows that packed seats for over 15 years. He flew them, the actors, in. He would get them excited to be casted for these great plays, she said. He would travel and see plays wherever he was off to see what they were doing and if it was something that would work for Lancaster. One of the things Mariani will miss is hearing her friend and colleague enter the Opera House he loves so much. Nobody had charisma like this man, she said. We would always hear him coming up the stairs because he was singing. The Lancaster Opera House's new creative director, John Kozowski, who was appointed about a month ago to help direct shows with Bondrell, was shocked by the loss of such a bright light in the community. David and I have been friends since we first promised to work in 2013 on Promises, Kozowski said. We have been friends since. Kozowski said he left for Illinois with his wife in 2015, taking a job in the tech sector, and when he returned in 2021, Bondrell found him a show to work on back in the area. Kozowski himself has been involved with the performing arts for most of his life, having instructed the Lancaster Youth Bureau's theater program for a number of years. We had been kind of eyeing ways to work together, he said. He just got us into our first show that we directed and choreographed together on a professional level with Lucky Stiff. Kazarowski said he will miss his friend and colleague who helped bridge his career from tech and education back into the arts, a lifelong passion and calling. We were hoping to be in tandem and move things even further forward in the community, and we are still going to do that. I think what we were truly looking forward to and savoring the anticipation of working together. Bondrell was all about giving opportunities to those in the community, Kazarowski said, whether they were a known presence or new to performing. There's some really established people in town that are award-winning and recognized, and you don't know it, but David gave them their shot, he said. He was all about giving the underdogs a chance, giving people their shot, and really giving all of himself to the community and those around him. Kazarowski said he will try to reflect David's approach to be bold, ask the question. The worst they can say is no. He added, David was just unafraid to not just be David, but to be bold and ask questions of people that other people were afraid to ask. And not only did that serve him well in his own life and career, but in how he treated the Opera House. Debbie Turley, Depew Community Action Team president, said that Bondrell was instrumental in getting the Depew Community Center established. Blown away by Bondrell's infectious enthusiasm, creativity, and vision, Turley knew his involvement would be helpful. We had been encouraged to apply for an Erie County Cultural Capital Grant to complete the renovations of the first floor of the Depew Community Center. David and the Lancaster Opera House became our partners in that venture, and we were awarded $300,000. David's generosity of time and ideas helped us shape our own mission to bring services, including the arts, to Depew residents. She added, his love for the theater and for this community helped us all to imagine a world of color and song, intrigue and mystery, celebration and joy. The light of his passion will forever shine brightly in the lives of everyone who knew him. Debbie Blask, a representative at the Lancaster Depew Alma Chamber of Commerce, grew close with Bondrell after years of working on events together. He was larger than life, and his passion for the arts was contagious, she said. At the service, seeing the reactions from a lot of the actors who have their start, he just gave such a lasting impression and legacy. The Lancaster Opera House has organized a memorial fund in Bondrell's honor with other events to help honor his kindness and talent planned for the future. We will carry on this legacy and strive to honor his memory in all that we do, said the organization. To view the memorial fund online and make a donation to the Opera House in Bondrell's memory, visit their website at www.lancasteropera.org. Continuing with the Lancaster Depew Bee for April 23rd, the Bee Heard column. Item 1. I'm a resident of the town of Lancaster near Peppermint Road, where Walden Pond Park exists. And I read about the improvements to Walden Pond Park in I read about the improvements to Walden Pond Park in Mr. Leary's column. I'm wondering if the people who live along the south side of Peppermint Road were ever consulted about all these additional things that are going on in their backyards, because it seems to me that they're creating quite a disturbance at that park for people to have quiet enjoyment of their property. Next item. Very often I see Depew police sitting in a quiet church parking lot, but the crazy drivers are on Transit Road. And next item. Good morning. I'm calling about the windmill that is being erected at the corner of Walden Pavement and Pleasant View in Lancaster. I'm in a state of shock that the town would approve such a thing so close to residential homes on Pleasant View. I just don't know how this passed. Who passed it? It seems like it was a well-kept secret because I don't remember reading anything about it in the Bee. Very unfortunate. I feel very sorry for the residents of Pleasant View who will now have to deal with this. From the editorial page of the Lancaster Depew Bee for April 23rd, the Spindle column by James Sinner, Lancaster Depew editor. Gun violence down. Gun violence continued to decline across New York State through the first quarter of 2026, with state officials crediting a sustained drop in shootings and fatalities in communities participating in a flagship violence prevention initiative. Governor Kathy Hochul announced Monday, April 20th, that the 28 police departments in the state's Gun-Involved Violence Elimination, or GIVE, program reported 81 shootings, incidents involving injury, from January through March 2026. That total is down 65% from 229 incidents during the same period in 2021. Over the same span, the number of people shot fell 66% from 262 to 88, while gun-related deaths declined 74% from 28 to 11. International idioms. Idioms involving nationalities are fascinating because they often reveal history of a people or place. Many of these phrases originated during periods of naval conflict or trade competition. Here are some common idioms from around the world. French leave, departing from a social event, party, or place of work without informing the host, saying goodbye, or seeking permission. Dutch courage, bravery gained from drinking alcohol. It's all Greek to me, denotes complexity or unfamiliar jargon. Scottish shower, starting a shower hot and then finishing with a blast of cold water, a humorous reference to frugality, stereotypes. Spanish practices, non-standard working practices designed to benefit employees, usually to denote inefficient or unjustifiable practices. Chinese whispers, based on a game where a whispered phrase passes down a line, resulting in hilarious distortion. Going Dutch, splitting the bill. Pardon my French, jokingly apologize for using profanity or swear words in English, pretending the offensive words were actually French. Russian roulette, a risky choice, a lethal game of chance where a single cartridge is placed in a revolver. The cylinder is spun and the trigger is pulled while pointing the gun at one's head. Italian stallion, a handsome, physically attractive, and often virile or charming man of Italian descent. Canadian tuxedo, a denim jacket with matching jeans creating a double denim look. French twist, an elegant, timeless updo suited by gathering hair into a low ponytail, twisting it upwards and tucking into a vertical roll secured with pins. American dream, anyone can rise up from poverty to wealth through effort. Polish joke, jokes based on negative stereotypes. Swiss watch, something that functions with extreme precision, accuracy, reliability, and smooth, flawless efficiency. Japanese knotweed means to each his own, or there is no accounting for taste, as there are bugs that even eat the bitter knotweed. Greek gift, a deceptive offering, appearing beneficial but intended to harm or trick the recipient, referencing the Trojan horse. And finally, talk for England, a person who talks excessively, constantly, or for a very long time. And under Lancaster Bee local news for April 23rd, LVAC juniors provide free blood pressure tests at several TOPS locations. For almost 2 decades, the Lancaster Volunteer Ambulance Corps, LVAC, Juniors have been offering community outreach programs in the months of April and May. This annual event provides free blood pressure clinics at all TOPS locations in the LVAC call area. The locations involved includes TOPS in Depew at D&L Plaza, TOPS on Broadway in Alden, TOPS on Transit Road near French Road, and TOPS at Transit and Rem Road. The next blood pressure clinics will take place at the following times and locations: 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Saturday, May 2nd at 6363 Transit Road, Lancaster, and 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, May 9th at 5175 Broadway, Depew. More community news in the Lancaster Bee. YMCA Buffalo Niagara to help local athletes with donation drive. YMCA Buffalo Niagara is launching a donation drive from now until May 2nd to benefit kids' sports in Western New York. The Y is looking for donations of new and gently used sports equipment to help support kids in Western New York practice and play the sports they love. All donated products will go to leveling the playing field to benefit local kids who don't have access to quality sports equipment. Donations must be in safe, functional condition to be accepted. Through this initiative, we hope to remove barriers to participation by providing essential equipment to local youth and families in need, Cam Doherty, Program Director of Leveling the Playing Field, said. With the community support, we're looking forward to making a tangible impact and helping more kids get in the game this season. Everyone in the community is invited to participate. For more information, please visit ymcabn.org or visit any YMCA Buffalo Niagara location. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 2:50, and we're turning to the Kenton Bee for April 23rd. From the front page, Kenmore seeks public input on new 10-year comprehensive plan. Residents, business owners, and community stakeholders in the village of Kenmore will have an opportunity to help shape the community's future during a public workshop scheduled from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. on April 28th at the Kenmore Community Center, 135 Wilbur Avenue. The workshop is part of an ongoing effort to develop a comprehensive plan that will guide the village's growth, development, and policy decisions over the next decade. Village Clerk Treasurer Kathleen Johnson said the update is long overdue, noting that the current plan, adopted in 2003, focused primarily on the business district and did not fully address residential neighborhoods. This new plan will be village-wide and much more comprehensive, Johnson said. The previous plan mainly focused on immediate needs in the business district and looked only a few years ahead. This one is designed to take a broader, long-term view of where the village wants to be in 10 years. Community input may include ideas related to infrastructure, parking, housing, economic development, and quality of life enhancements, as well as suggestions for alternative transportation options, such as bike paths or e-scooters. She emphasized that all perspectives are welcome. We want to hear from anyone who lives, works, or has a stake in the village, Johnson said. That includes residents, business owners, property owners, churches, civic groups, anyone who wants to help make Kenmore a better place. For those unable to attend, comments may be submitted via email to Johnson at kjohnson@kenmoreny.gov. A second public workshop is planned later in the process, with details to be announced, providing another opportunity for community participation. A draft of the comprehensive plan is expected to be completed by October. Before final adoption, the plan will be presented to the Village Board of Trustees, and a formal public hearing will be held, giving residents another chance to comment. The final plan is anticipated to be adopted by the end of 2026 or early 2027. Once approved, it will serve as a blueprint for future decision-making, including zoning updates, infrastructure investments, and long-term community development initiatives. Continuing with the front page of the Kenton Bee for April 23rd, AFC expands offerings with new equipment upgrades. The town of Tonawanda's Aquatic and Fitness Center was closed from April 5th to the 10th for renovations, during which several upgrades were made to the equipment and improvements to the facility. Trevor Taggart, Recreation Coordinator, highlighted the renovations. The AFC has enhanced his workout facilities with the addition of new strength training equipment from the Hoist Fitness Club line. Recent upgrades include machines targeting a wide range of muscle groups such as pec/rear delt fly, shoulder press, leg curl, leg extension, chest press, lat pull down, tricep extension, bicep curl, abdominal, and back extension stations. In addition, 4 Hoist HD 3000 dual pulley functional trainers have been installed. These units feature a space-saving corner designed and offer 32 adjustable pulley positions, along with multiple pull-up grip options equipped with flip and grip handles. The trainers also include a built-in step-up assist and suspension trainer attachment, providing users with expanded workout possibilities. Taggart stated that the upgrades are aimed at increasing variety and flexibility for members, allowing for more comprehensive and customizable fitness routines. A series of upgrades at the aquatic facility are also underway, with several projects already completed and others continuing. Among the improvements is the ongoing conversion to energy-efficient LED lighting aimed at enhancing visibility while reducing energy consumption. Lighting in the pool area has also been upgraded as part of the effort. Taggart noted that work has begun replacing pool bulkhead targets, with the project currently in phase 1 of a planned 4-phase process. In addition, outdated bleachers have been removed to make way for future enhancements. Further improvements to the aquatic facility are scheduled for completion by the end of the month, continuing ongoing modernization efforts. Planned upgrades include the installation of new ceiling tiles and the addition of new bleachers to enhance the spectator experience. The facility will also install new diving boards or blocks, a key improvement that will bring the pool back into compliance for USA swimming meets. In addition, the transition to energy-efficient LED lighting is expected to be completed, finalizing a project aimed at improving visibility and reducing energy use. Taggart indicated that these upcoming enhancements will further improve both functionality and the overall experience for swimmers and visitors. And continuing with local news for the Kenton Bee, the Walmart at NT to be remodeled with upgraded technology. Walmart is in a release stated that plans are underway to reinvest across New York in 2026 to remodel 24 stores as part of ongoing efforts to modernize the in-store and digital shopping experience, upgrading layouts, technology, and services to offer faster, more convenient shopping and delivery in as little as an hour to most customers. The Walmart at 889 Niagara Falls Boulevard in North Tonawanda is one of the locations undergoing the facelift. Across New York, Walmart's new and remodeled already have expanded services like free pharmacy delivery for Walmart Plus members, including on GLP-1s, and a store-based app experience that helps customers easily navigate through stores, book services at Walmart's Auto Care Center, and more. The result is a more intuitive, convenient experience that helps customers shop how they want and when they want. Nationally, Walmart is planning remodels at more than 650 supercenters and neighborhood markets this year. Additionally, Walmart's invested more than $422 million to upgrade stores throughout New York over the past 5 years. Our stores have long been part of communities across New York, and we're excited to keep investing in their future, said Annie Walker, Senior Vice President, East Business Unit at Walmart. By modernizing our stores, we're making shopping faster, easier, and more convenient, all while empowering our teams to serve customers better and creating local opportunities. We're proud of our legacy here and look forward to helping families save money every time they visit our stores. Walmart stated their interest in also impact the local communities. In New York, over the past year, Walmart and the Walmart Foundation donated more than $44 million to local nonprofits, including providing more than 16 million pounds of food to help fight hunger. The company recently kicked off its annual Fight Hunger, Spark Change campaign to help address food insecurity locally. Every donation and qualifying purchase provides access to essential food and resources to local food banks in that area, empowering families to thrive. Through locally led giving, store associates also supported education, disaster response efforts, and other community-driven initiatives, working alongside trusted local organizations to help build stronger communities across the state. You've been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Stay tuned for our second hour. Your reader for this hour has been Patricia. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have a reading of our Southtowns papers, including Orchard Park, Hamburg, East Aurora, and West Seneca's B papers or Sons. At 3 o'clock, we have the Ample Eagle, and at 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. Stay tuned for these readings and more throughout the day, and contact us if you have comments, suggestions, or questions. You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Volunteer radio readers broadcast daily readings, 24 hours a day, of newspapers, magazines, books, and other printed matter to area people who are blind or have a print disability, who are provided reading radios. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service has broadcast almost 40 years of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. Radio Reading Studios are at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. For more information on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, call 716-821-5555. following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability,